All right, so after my festival tier list, I decided to do a top 10 just regular unit list. Now this is going to exclude festivals and collabs because obviously festival units are top tier, and you know, collab characters tend to be really powerful, you know, a cut above the rest. So these are just regular units. We do have Diane and Gother because there's no surprise that Halloween Gother is number one, no surprise. But we do have Halloween Gother and Diane on here. They are seasonal characters. I decided to include them because they are really good. So I'm just gonna go over my reasoning for where each unit is. Keep in mind that this whole list, besides I think Gother, can be interchangeable, and I know a lot of you are gonna have different opinions, so let me know what your top 10 units, regular units by the way, are down below in the comments. And if you do enjoy this video, go ahead and leave a like. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get started. So Green Fighter Diane, I was looking at the list of units, and Green Fighter Diane, she is actually really good. She might not have a lot of DPS, which is fine because she's a tank. Her main role is to tank, and she does that really well. She has a taunt at the start of battle, and she also has this buff card which increases her defense related stats by 80, 120, and 200%. I think that's a really good taunt, one of the best in the game. Obviously Power Strike is going to obliterate her, but besides that, there's nothing that really gets around this. Maybe charge and shatter and stuff like that, but Power Strike is what really cucks her the most. But she's good, she's really strong. You know, this severed card could potentially do damage, I guess, if you're facing off against a unit like who has low resistance, like crit resistance, but it's not gonna do too much damage. And then her ultimate, it's okay. Her ultimate's okay, but for the most part, I think she does deserve the number 10 spot at least. She also does help against the big bird, which I think puts her at a huge advantage over other units in the game. So it's very important to note that. But what holds her back, I think, is her stats. I think her basic stats hold her back a lot because look at her defense, 2,889. That is low for a tank. It's very low. She has decent HP, being at 59k. But if we actually go over to the CC ranking, we can check the amount of stats that she has. And for Diane, this is at tier 5 Super Awakened, so I don't know what it looks like at tier 6. But for Diane at tier 5 Super Awakened, she's at 4,079. Like that's not high at all for a tank, so keep that in mind. But again, she has a skill which increases her obviously, which increases her defense related stats. So it's not, I don't know if it's too crazy, like if it impact, and the big bird, it impacts it a lot, I think. But outside of that, I don't know if it makes too much of a difference when you're getting 200% defense. But yeah, do keep that in mind. Her stats are low, so yeah, that's why I think she deserves number 10. She's very good regular unit in the game. But moving on to number 9. So number 9, Festival Arthur. Now, if you wanted to put Arthur above Valenti, I could definitely see it, but personally I think Valenti is above Arthur, and that's why she's at number 8 for the sole purpose of Arthur just being sort of kind of a support. He has some type of DPS potential with AoE charge being a thing. Very good skill. It's just he has no way of increasing his damage besides the 20% extra damage dealt increase that he gets on passive. But every ally has to be human, which I do think holds him back slightly, like just slightly, because let's say you want to run him with Tarmio, you can't, because Tarmio is a goddess, so his passive will not proc, which I think is kind of a, you know, a setback a little bit. But besides that, I would say he has one of the best taunts in the game, where he reduces damage taken, and he also depletes the ultimate move gauge of anyone who attacks him. So I think that's really nice that he has that. It's a very strong taunt skill. No, it's very strong. It allows you to make crazy setups. His stance skill is very good. His ultimate doesn't matter too much. It's just a single target detonate, but I mean, I guess if you have it at 6 out of 6, it could give you a comeback, I guess. But most of the times you're going to use him with Bond anyway. So He does fit well on Bond's team, which you guys already know is one of the best teams in the game easily. So that is where he, I guess, has the advantage over pretty much most of these units on this list. I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, Arthur definitely holding his own at the number 9 spot. I think he's a phenomenal unit. Stats are really decent. I don't think they're anything too spectacular, but I do think that his stats are you know, fairly good for what they're worth. Again, this is not tier 6, but this is tier 5. You know, decent stats, nothing too crazy, but decent. I would say reasonable for when he came out. But yeah, number 9 is Arthur, and like I said, number 8 being Valenti. Valenti's a good unit. I think that the only thing about her, which kind of sets her back, is the fact that you have to crit, because her whole gimmick is around crits. She has Sever, she can nullify, which is very good, but you guys can see right here her crit chance being at 30% kind of sucks. I know she has Sever, I do know she has Sever, but nowadays units are having crazy amount of crit resistance, and it's insane. So her having 30% crit resistance on base is pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad, which holds her back. Her ultimate's good. Her ultimate is really good. One of the best ultimates in the game, because she not only increases damage dealt, but she decreases damage taken both by 50%, and then her damage goes up obviously to 525 when she's 6 out of 6. So it's really strong. I just think that for the most part, the thing that holds her back is the fact that her crit chance is low. All right, so you're not even gonna really crit Arthur because he has 60% crit resistance. So critting him is not going to be like it's going to be a common thing. I would say you might get a few crits here and there because she does attack a lot on this card, but for the most part he's going to survive. Like, he's literally going to survive. Not only does he have type advantage, she's not going to really crit that much. So that's what one of the unfortunate things about her. But what keeps her above these two right here is the fact that she can nullify. She can't nullify stances, but she can nullify everything else that Arthur does, and she can completely cut the end. So yeah, she's very strong unit, very strong unit. But yeah, at number 7 is actually Diane. So Diane is a very strong unit. I think that she is one of the best right now in PvP because she can stop buffs, she can taunt, she can ultimate move disable. She gets hit 3 times. She has I would say overall like pretty meh stats. I'm not gonna lie, it's not like her stats are anything to write home about, but her stats are good enough that she is actually able to compete in the the higher realms of PvP if you want to. Very strong for the bird as well. She can remove buffs, which is obviously a very big thing. She can also taunt up, which again, very big thing on the bird. So I think that's where her value increases over the other 3. Even though Valenti might be better and Arthur is on one of the best teams in the game in PvP, I think her value and the big bird is what sets her among these 3 right here. So Diane can be used in a big bird, but the only thing about Diane is that she's not going to really do damage, and I heard that she was a bit squishy, so we'll see. I have not used Diane myself, but I'm planning to use her soon. But Diane is very good. I do use her for big bird. The only thing about Diane is her taunt. For the big bird, her taunt is terrible because it only lasts for 1 turn, but it's also good because she can stack up buffs, which helps her ult, and it's very powerful then. So all in all, very good unit. I would say she is actually like one of the best in the game. Keep in mind, she can remove buffs from Droll because Droll has buffs when he taunts up, so that's very good. Now Chandler, see, when I was thinking about this, right, Chandler could potentially be above Tarmio, but I think I'm actually going to put Tarmio above Chandler for the sole purpose Tarmio can be ran with Margaret. So can Chandler, but Tarmio works very good with Margaret because he has a stance which helps her passive, or not her passive, her grace, right? It helps her grace. He can ult deplete, obviously decrease all enemies max HP by 200% of his own defense. He can recover HP depending on his defense. He's a very phenomenal unit, reduces damage. The only thing that sucks about Tarmio is his stance takes in all the damage you take. It reduces damage, but it also takes in damage. So I think that's one of the things that hurts him. But other than that, he's pretty damn good. He's like a really strong tank. He can be ran on tank teams. So can Chandler. Chandler also has disabling on his first skill, which is good. He also has the full counter. But I think Tarmio, because you can just honestly wait this out, I think Tarmio for the most part, is probably going to be the better unit than Chandler on teams, because he just has a really good overall viability, right? He just does. And Chandler, I'm not gonna lie, Chandler is pretty damn good, but I just feel like Tarmio is better. I do. I just feel like Tarmio is better. Of course, the disabling helps, but he can't disable Tarmio's stance. So that's where this really hurts Chandler, because Tarmio can literally just stance up. I mean, of course, he can stop his ult depletion, right? He can actually stop his ult depletion, but the stance is what really counts. The stance is really you need to stop, and he can't. So I do think that's where he falls short. But Chandler is a phenomenal unit, one of the best in the game. Obviously, he can but he can, decrease all stats by 7%, up to 21% if an enemy uses 3 of their own skills consecutively. He has an AoE ultimate which inflicts charge damage, which is pretty damn nice. His stats are, they're good. His stats are really good. He has 50% crit chance, 60% crit resistance. Crit defense sucks, but that's okay. That's okay. So still one of the best units, but I think Tarmio is just going to stand out a little bit more than Chandler will. Now for the final 4 units, which is Sorrio, Bren Hill, and then both the Gothers, I think Sorrio being at number 4 is accurate. Now in PvP, you can use him with Margaret, because obviously him with Margaret is going to be an amazing setup, but without Margaret, he just can't do anything. Like, I'm gonna be real, he really can't. Maybe on JP, because Gother's running around, you might be able to use him, but otherwise you really can't use this unit. And that's not to say he's a terrible unit, it's just where the meta is right now, being overrun with blue units. He doesn't really have anything that can save him besides being paired up with Margaret. That's it. That's it. But in every or most PvE events in the game, Sorrio is just the absolute undisputed king of PvE in this game. Every mode you can use him in, like mostly every mode, besides ones that, I don't know, are like really strong blue units or units that don't take a lot of crit damage or something like that, you can use him. And he can work in the big burst. So again, that is why Sorrio is probably gonna, honestly, for the rest of this game's lifespan, I can see him being, even if he's not one of the best units in the game anymore, like let's say we're on year 5 of Grand Cross, if they make it that far, but let's say we're on year 5, if you can actually make it to, like, not make it, but if they actually make it to year 5 and you can, do content and you can actually make it to difficult content still, he's gonna end up being an overall solid unit even then, right? So Sorrio is probably going to be one of those units where you can just keep using until they come out with a replacement for him. But I don't know, he has a really good kit. He has Power Strike, AoE Sever, he can increase his own basic stats, he can ignore 50% of the enemy's crit defense. Like, he is a very strong unit. But Bren Hill, oh my god, Bren Hill is just really good. She is just phenomenal. The thing that makes her, like, I would say what holds her back is the fact you can't use this in PvP or deathmatch. I can understand PvP, I can, but deathmatch? Like, why? Why can't you use her in deathmatch? I don't, like, why wouldn't this passive work in deathmatch? I don't understand why Netmarble decided to cuck her like that. Makes absolutely zero sense to me, but whatever. But her kit is phenomenal. Like, it is really, really good. She has a detonate attack, power strike, and then she also has a single target ultimate which heals all allies, and her crit chance is at 60%. So if you build her with full crit chance, which you really do probably want to for the big bird, you're looking at over 100% crit chance. So keep that in mind. So her ultimate critting is very likely. Yeah, it's really, really good. Like, if you build her with full crit chance, she is going to perform amazingly well. Like, it's not even funny. Like, she has, I think, the second highest attack stat in the game. She is a phenomenal. Does she have the second? I think she does. Let me see really, really quick. But I think she does have the second highest attack in the game. And it's insane because Zeldris had the highest attack, right? He actually did have the highest attack, or he does have the highest attack, my bad. But you know, she's right there next to him. Where is, I think it's here. Yeah, I think it's around here. Let's see. Yeah, but if we just, is it over here? It should be. Maybe not. I can't find it. Strongest character rank. No, that's where we're on now. List of all character evaluations. Let me see if this is it. I'm taking forever to find this. This is funny. I can't. Wow. Okay. I'm not used to this site, but either way, she does have the second highest attack in the game, right? I don't even have to like prove it. She does. She does. You can look it up if you want after the video, but she's insane. Like, she is really, really good. And her passive on the big bird, because she is better than Sorrio, she is probably the best unit to run on the big bird without a doubt, hands down. She just does so much damage. And if that bird didn't have Merlin's passive where he can't take more than, what is it, 30% of damage, right? She would go crazy. She would one shot. Like, she would literally one shot every phase. I'm not even kidding. Like, she would one shot every phase if you set her up right. She's insane. She's really, really good. So Bren Hill, I think, honestly, because of her usage in the big bird and because of how hard she hits and PvP, you can use her in PvP even though she doesn't have a passive, and she outperforms, I would say, most of these units. The only one who she probably won't outperform is Chandler, honestly, but she can, or Tarmio. I don't think she outperforms Tarmio. Sorrio can kill her. I guess these three right here could give her trouble, but keep in mind she has power strike. So Derriere dead. Valenti, I guess Valenti could hold her own. Arthur probably will die. Diane will definitely die, but you can use her. She can hold her own. She's not gonna like just go down easily if you let her. If you let her, she can kill every single one of your units, and I'm not kidding. Like, she's insane. So for me personally, she is at number 3. I like her better than I wouldn't say better, but I feel like number 3 is where she feels right. If you wanted to, I guess you could move her down maybe to like number 5 or something like that, but I feel like she's number 3 easily because of the big bird and how difficult that event is. I feel like she's easily number 3 best unit in the game. And again, you want to bring up PvP, she can be ran in PvP. She actually can be ran in PvP. So there you go. But Gowther, both of the Gowthers, I feel like are probably still the best festival and collab units in the game. It's just because of their kits, man. Obviously, you already know what he does, but Red Gowther's still good. I think a lot of people don't give Red Gowther a lot of credit because of Green Gowther, but he is a phenomenal unit still easily. He can attack, disable, he can rank up. He also has, the ult depletion ultimate. He has his passive kind of sucks, I'm not gonna lie, but for the most part, his stats are similar to Green Gowther. So his resistance, fair. His crit resistance is still decent. His crit defense is absolutely horrendous, but his crit resistance, his crit resistance is good. But yeah, he, overall, his stats aren't that terrible. They obviously, he's a starter game unit, so they're not the best. But we look at, he doesn't have his 80 stats, but yeah, they have around the same stats anyway. So these two are probably easily still number 1 and number 2. But then I think it becomes a point of contention about Bren Hill, Sorrio, Tarmio, Chandler, Derriere, and all of them. So I mean, you could interchange most of these units if you really wanted to, or replace them. I honestly don't matter. I really want to find I really want to find the is it this, the strongest ranking? I think it might be this one. Is it this one? I don't think it is. I really want to find it though, because I want to show you guys her attack stat. Like, I really want to show you guys her attack stat, but I can't find it. I always get lost when looking at this, man. I can't. Let's see. Fighting class ranking. Okay, there we go. The fighting class ranking. I can't believe I'm gonna find this. Now I can show you guys. Now I can show you before I end the video, because I'm gonna end the video. There you go. Second strongest attack in the game. She's insane. She's really good. And then I think in terms of fighting class, I think she's like 15 or something like that. Can't exactly remember, but yeah, she's like, her stats are good. Like, her stats are good. And this is Super Awakened 6, by the way. So her stats are good. It's not like it's terrible or anything like that. So yeah, there you guys go. This is my personal list. Obviously, you know, there's gonna be some opinions about it. I already know. Let me know what your opinions are about it down below in the comments. I'm curious. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you did enjoy, leave a like. But as always, you guys already know, I will see you all next time.